welcome to Insert Title Here. We thought about making a joke for 4 months, and then this was the joke, and then someone's audio crashed, and that's the new joke.
Hey,
I'm Flyer. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Twitch. I'm on YouTube. If you've heard some dumb asshole rant about Snom, it might have been me.
he the him.
He to him.
Oh,
And I'm joined, as always, by the two people who actually run this shit show. I'm just the funny clown man they keep putting in front first.
I'm Devon Valvio. I do the voice acting and I do the Twitch stuff, and I like to pretend that that's my job because I don't have one. That's right. In the last 4 months, in the last episode, I lost my job for reasons, and I will not elaborate on those.
The mouse has a high toll.
The mouse took away my Hulu too, fucker.
And I am Technical Cake Mix, also known as Adam. I am employed, gratefully. I'm also the reason why we had to restart recording, because for whatever reason, my recording program decided it was going to crash unprompted for no reason.
Great
while
job.
my hands were completely behind my head because I got nothing. I was telling a funny story that I don't know if we can get back into it now.
A
And
witty
we're just gonna have
anecdote?
to roll with this.
We'll have to remember it.
We're just gonna have. I can remember the story. We're just gonna have to find a natural way to get back
Remember
into that
it
conversation.
right now. Bring it up out of context right now, you fucking coward.
Okay. I was talking about how I had a hangover after my last birthday. And I
This
was getting
story
really annoyed
sucks.
and
Let's
I
talk
ditched
about
it.
something else.
This
And
story is dog shit. I'm going to tell a new story. No, continue.
And the story and this TLDR, I was in a antiques mall with my wife after my last birthday, spending some money. I was hung the fuck over because the night before, Devon's wife and her friend decided to educate me on the Ken Pender's law of Knuckles the Echidna in the old Archie Sonic comics, and the only way I can put up with something that mind-bendingly awful and just stupid and baby microwaving is to just get completely shit-faced.
Well, you don't like that Sonic the Hedgehog has that one Holocaust poem in it, except now it's about echidnas?
Oh my god.
Do you know the last time I got that shit-faced drunk was watching Batman v Superman? This is just the level of bad it take. You know, the only thing I can tolerate is with alcohol. But yeah, I walked into this place, so I had a very good time looking around, but I was being followed around by a security guard who thought he was hot shit when actually he was just really annoying, like wanted to be 6 foot, was actually 5'8", 5'7", wearing platforms in his fucking Clark's Velcro strap boots. Stomp around the place, I pick up one thing, a Bulbasaur plushie, which I did end up buying. And it was a vintage one, keep in mind, from the late 90s, very nice. He decided to immediately run over to me and asked if I can take it to the counter for him. Over his shoulder, I see an old couple struggling to carry a patio set up there. And I said, you might want to help them first. I think they need it more than I do. The story ends with after that, me in my very hungover state, I went to, there was right down the street from it, there was like an old drive-in movie theater that had been converted into like a 1950s themed like burger place drive-through thingy, like a hole-in-the-wall type restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I literally walked in
Like
there.
Yeah, a sock hop.
Not like a diner. It was basically like there was patio benches outside, but the inside of it was still like a concession stand from like the drive-through movie theater. So it was like literally a hole in the wall. You order food and then took it and sat down at the benches. Very seasonal apparently. It's only open between like April through to like early September. Then it closes for the rest of the year. But the food was very, very good. It came highly recommended from some people in that area I knew.
I mean, I can imagine why it's only open for that amount of time during the year, because, you know, given where you are, it's probably not really great to eat outside between the months that were not stated.
October can actually be alright here. This not honestly depends on the year. But to give you an idea of how on fucking point this place was, I walked in very hungover, clearly hungover, wearing sunglasses, looking a bit like, oh, good God. I walk in there, and the woman at the counter just takes one look at me and just goes, burger, cheese, mustard, extra pickles, hangover cure, right? And I'm like, uh-huh. Read me like a
that's
fucking
right. We were
book.
talking about
That's
hangover
right. That's how we
cure.
Yeah, we're talking about hangover cure.
We weren't talking about just Adam's
It's a Big
alcohol
Mac.
problem. It was literally...
No, it's very bad.
Look, it's only a problem if you're not British, all right?
It's only a problem when he runs out. So, I mean...
Hey! Which I'm in no danger of running out, shall I show you? He says, currently sipping on gin.
It'd be like that.
I've had a
Man's
I've
gin
had a
is
rough
his
week.
favorite color.
Gin and juice?
Sorry,
And this man's gin is his favorite color.
pink. I'm drinking pink gin mixed with ginger ale with Canada Dry. My favorite color is red, though.
Red is just, dark pink. We're good.
Pink is a form of red.
Pink is a form of red. That's true. Correct.
Technically, pink's a shade of red.
Shut up, Mr. Color Theory. I don't care anymore. There, that'll get us flagged on YouTube.
Yeah, and Devon's pretending like he's never had a hangover before in his life.
I'm not pretending. I've never had a hangover before.
Devon only just hit 30. Like,
that's
the switch
irrelevant.
For him.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know. His knees haven't started hurting yet.
Because I take care of myself and I work out frequently. Like, I don't want. What do you want from me?
Oh,
He hasn't gotten 3 hours of sleep and then woken up and his back went.
Because I sleep for more than
that's the
3
worst.
hours. I don't know what to tell you.
It's like the one perk of being unemployed. This motherfucker can sleep for 11 hours.
This fucking guy.
I don't sleep for 11 hours.
This fucking
not-
guy.
This fucking guy, he's not out here working. He's not out here working. He's just sitting there in his office going whenever he fucking wants. The audio recording won't pick that up, but I hope our editor will allow me to send him critter.mp3, and he'll know that when I say now, that's when he has to put it in.
Okay, so I hate this. Oh, I don't hate it. I love
Resident
it.
Evil 4 is not a full-time job, Devon, no matter how many times you've already played it through.
Okay, well, I'll get back to that in a moment. Okay, so
Will we?
maybe. First and foremost, if you haven't realized, Discord has added sound boards to pretty much the platform itself in whatever server you're in.
It's server dependent. I've heard if you have more than 50 people in your server, it might not be available.
I don't know.
That makes
I
sense.
follow some pretty big servers. Farfa from Yu-Gi-Oh! He's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Yugi-tuber. He's got a pretty big Discord, and he has a lot of the soundboards available in his Discord. I don't know, maybe if there's something that they do to make sure people aren't spamming it.
It's intermittent. It's being rolled out. Same thing with their Clyde AI thing, which if you run a server, you should definitely turn off.
Yeah.
You don't want Discord to track your
voice.
logs and voice stuff,
Yeah.
especially if you're in Bug Shaker General.
Bug Shaker General. But anyway.
Which, if we can go to the news, haha, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is up with that?
Rapari had a really
Imagine
good
being
theory.
baited by 7-year-olds. You're like, I'll show them that I'm real cool, and you, a 21-year-old National Guard airman, somehow has access to like top secret shit. Like, how do you have the battle plans of Ukraine? What the fuck nepo baby shit is this?
Honestly, when I was reading through the details of that trial, I forget the kid's name. I was reading through it, and I'm just like, this guy has literally been in this service for like it wasn't even 6 months, right?
No. He's like a fucking he's like a 21-year-old. He's barely been in there like at all. And it's like, how do you have access to this shit?
Exactly my point. I'm just like, haven't you normally got to be like with them for a certain amount of time to get certain levels of clearance?
It's
Like,
not
how the
even
fuck you
that.
get it?
He's
21.
in the National Guard, man. How do you fucking get access to any of that shit?
My question is, why are we giving the 21-year-old security clearance to fucking battle plans for the Ukraine military? Like, what the fuck?
I can't wait for the Discord CEO to be called in, and they say, Mr. Discord CEO, one of my assistants here, I don't know what it's fucking called, one of my interns here says that I'm supposed to ask you a question about Discord kittens. Now, does this have something to do with the security on your platform? Can you tell me and the rest of the assembled members of the Senate just what in the heck a Discord kitten is?
Jesus Christ. Can we... This is going to get slightly political for a
Some
second.
of these
but
fuckers are older than television. Get the fuck out of here.
Can we please stop getting the oldest and most out-of-touch people to ask tech bosses these questions? Because the one that sticks in my mind is Ted Cruz grilling Mark Zuckerberg a couple of years ago when Facebook was basically being grilled about the use of data after the Cambridge Analytica thing. And, like, Ted Cruz was just like, how do you make money? And like he was basically trying to insinuate the whole way through that they sell user data, which they do.
But
he
and like, everyone knows it.
And Zuckerberg was like, well, officially we don't. And he's like, well, you have this, you have that, you pay all these employees. How do you make money? And he just looks at Ted Cruz dead in the eye and just goes, we sell ads.
Yeah, ads, you dumb asshole.
And like everyone in the room with a clue was a face palm. Like, well, no shit, they sell ads literally on the side of the fucking page, dickhead.
Well,
like,
and the thing that
it's
really
just this clueless, out of touch shit.
The thing that really chaps my ass about like just I don't want to get okay. You know what? We're getting political. Fuck it. It's so dumb right now what they're doing with like the whole TikTok thing. It's just like. Does TikTok connect to my Wi-Fi? I mean, you can. So TikTok's getting my information from my Wi-Fi? No,
it's getting your information from you, stupid.
Exactly. It's
about to say.
Can TikTok connect to satellites? If you're using your phone.
Connect to American defense satellites, Mister. What's your name here? Xing Zhuang?
Yeah, the guys from Singapore, right?
Yeah. No,
it's so dumb. And you know what? Really, it's the funny thing is like it's like people are just like, oh, TikTok harvests your data and your information and sells it. It's just like
no shit, you're giving them it, you stupid.
But it's also like, what fucking website doesn't? You know, fucking Google, Twitter, Facebook. No. Let me say YouTube. They all fucking do it.
GeoCities didn't do it.
Well, so GeoCities owned by Yahoo.
Fire didn't do it.
GeoCities absolutely did it. It was owned by Yahoo. Like, who were the first people to really normalize this whole idea of data harvesting a user to turn down news trends to them.
Tumblr and fuck that whole thing up. That was funny. I hope they go bankrupt again.
So the problem with TikTok, and there is a legitimate line of questioning that should have been had that was not had. No. TikTok does harvest more data from its user than other platforms do, significantly more, and it calls home significantly more than any other app does. There's a great article. If I find it, I'll link it again. About reverse engineering TikTok and it basically how it actually works, and saying there's a lot of question marks because it is dialing home an awful lot to overseas IP addresses, which is concerning considering TikTok is owned by, let's be real, a shell company for the CCP, the Chinese government. This is where the concern comes in. However, the line of questioning asked at this trial was not about that at all. They were more worried about the algorithm recommending them quote-unquote woke posts because the correct line of questioning is, like, we understand that, yes, companies like this harvest data from its users to run an algorithm to recommend things. Can you please explain how your algorithm needs recommendations for data overseas that's not held within the United States? That was the correct line of questioning. And instead, fucking Mike Pence's son goes on about, well, this thing's recommending me trans content. Can you comment on that? I'm like, it's recommending you that because you've been looking it up, you fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Come on!
Mr. What's your name here? Xinjia Wang. Can you tell me why it's talking all about this here? What are these people? Fucking leftist things?
Yeah. Yes, have you been looking up leftist information?
Oh my god! Like,
no, it's like what? Now, can you tell me why this here TikTok keeps showing me these here transgender people? It's like,
can you tell me why this here TikTok keeps showing me Filipino pool boys? Not that I'm looking for one. I have one at home, but like, why does it keep showing me this?
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ. It was like the stupidest thing. And like one of the women they had up there was bitching that her video she uploaded for her constituents didn't get like 1 million fucking likes. And I'm just like,
where? It's like Elon Musk whining because fucking what? Joe Biden got more attention than his posts on the Super Bowl?
Oh my god.
Fucking cry about it, you dumb asshole. Oh my god.
Superb owl.
Him getting pissed about the BBC interview has been amusing me because I'm just kind of like, no one really came out looking good out of that, and he's just mad like, oh, it's the example of media manipulation 101.
The Musk interview?
Yeah.
He's just like
they softballed the fuck out of him. They literally didn't ask one goddamn good question.
Yeah, and I'm like, it didn't look good for anybody because he could answer these softball questions.
It was fantastic.
I didn't listen to it or read it or watch it, but all I do know from it is that basically he's just like, yeah, I mean, I'm getting a lot of like targeted hate and people are just really upset with what I'm doing, and then basically everyone's like, good, fuck you. Which I have to agree, good, go fuck yourself, you dumb asshole. Honestly, here's the thing. I will say this. I do like Twitter on the basis that that's where I've met a lot of my good friends. I mean, that's where I've met you two guys. And that's where I've gotten a lot of like work. Well, not I can't say a lot of work, but some voiceover work has been done on, and I've learned a lot just from Twitter. And it does have its problems. I will not get into that because no shit. But
we'll be here all fucking year. Yeah.
But like currently, I mean, we're literally just watching the site's death throes as it stands. Like if we're being real, the thing's falling apart. And honestly, good. Fuck it. If it dies, it dies. I mean, my friends know where to find me. If they want to look for me on Discord, I'm on Discord. If they want to find me on Facebook, I have one. I don't use it often, but it's there.
Yeah, I thought it was really weird when you added me on Facebook the other week. Although I looked and I'm like, what the fuck,
yeah,
Devon?
I did remake my Facebook specifically because potential voiceover stuff. I've been seeing a lot of stuff pop up in one Facebook account. So I've been looking and keeping my eye on it there. So, and it's nice talking to some people I haven't talked to in a while. So it's not all bad. I'm not letting a bunch of right-leaning anger bait content get into my my timeline anymore. If I see it, I just immediately like, nope, not engaging. Which is what honestly everyone should do. Just don't engage, because
Listen, a lot of people nowadays are, kid gloves are off. The fucking cowards. Block people, you dumb asshole.
Yeah.
Stop letting people just walk all over you.
Like,
there may be at least one artist here. If someone comes to you with some shit and you're like, no man, I'm good, and then they start giving you shit, just tell them to go fuck themselves and block.
Hit the
Stop
brakes.
acting like good people. Go sicko mode. Don't you want to just stop giving a shit?
Don't you want to go ape shit?
Don't you want to go ape shit, man? Fuck them.
This advice applies to so much many fucking things. There was a video game released recently, which was it was the Harry Potter game, right?
Yeah.
And what was driving me nuts?
I'm so fucking fed up with that.
What was driving me nuts about it was if people had just stopped talking about the game and just not giving attention instead of like intentionally out of the way to post spoilers or just generally be dicks. You know, ironically do the tactics.
The usual fucking 4chan V bullshit. Yeah.
Hilariously, they basically took V's tactics and did them. But my point is, if they had just not done that and just let it die,
use those tactics right.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
That game would have lasted a week and would have been replaced with the next AAA thing. Which, oh by the way, it was Resident Evil 4 came out and no one's talking about the stupid Harry Potter game anymore.
Well, no, hold on. In between those two was the Metroid Prime remake.
That too.
Oh, and also Atomic Heart.
Atomic
Heart.
I'm so fucking Atomic Heart getting shit on and then immediately them walking back and going, oh wait, you mean if you make a video game you aren't necessarily a state agent? Like, goddamn, you stupid.
Like, what drove me nuts with the Harry Potter thing was just all they had to do was just not talk about it. Because what they ended up doing was it ended up having way more life than it would have normally had because it got into the fucking heart, it got into the minds of the normies, and the normies were like, well, I'm not supposed to be playing this thing because people on the internet are upset about it or something. I don't fucking know. People need to understand they're in a fucking bubble on the internet. And like, I was being asked about it by my wife's cousin. My wife's cousin is not on Twitter. He is very much not the online kind of person, right? Mm-hmm. And he bought the game because he got told, well, someone said I shouldn't play it because something about J.K. Rowling. The normies don't really know much about this stuff. They really aren't in tune with it. You have to understand this shit. However, if you tell any fucking body they're not allowed to do something, what's the first fucking thing they do?
That's fucking human nature.
Like, case in fucking point, go to any Barnes & Noble in the country right now, particularly in the country, I mean, I live in the States, done the British accent for you, I've lived here now for almost 10 years. Like, you go to any Barnes & Noble, the first thing you'll see when you walk in is there's literally a table full of banned books.
Yep.
Quote-unquote banned books, the ones that for certain lawmakers and trying to ban, particularly in the southern part of the United States, right? And they're the best sellers.
Yep.
They won't put the anarchist cookbook, and they should.
Like, it's like what? It's just hilarious shit 101. Like, it's driving me nuts.
This is human nature going backwards. Fucking how far? Like, historical angle. You had the Sixers like, nah, the fucking Elvis is devil music. He's up there swinging his fucking Jesus Christ. He's gonna fuck everybody. You can't listen to that. Burn them albums. Hey, what do you know? He's only the most well-known musician of the fucking last century.
You know, he's tied for the most number ones in the UK with the Beatles.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, he deserves it more considering that the Beatles actively stole half of his shit.
Yeah.
Like,
And they admit to that. They go, no, we fucking ripped the fuck off of him. Are you kidding me?
yeah, my point is just kind of give you an idea of like, the scale. Just to kind of give you an idea of the scale that was on about. But like, people need to learn what the Streisand effect is and was. When to shut the fuck up. Because, oh my god, if they had just done the do not engage tactic with it, it would have died on launch. It would have not gotten into the hearts and minds of the normies. You gotta
remember, you gotta generate outrage because you want people to be upset about a thing.
Yeah.
But when you get people upset about a thing, that just means that they look at it more.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the other thing is, well, if the normies had even looked on Twitter and been like, I'm saying normies a lot, I realize. I'm just trying to I can't think of a better term.
There's really not.
There really isn't a better term.
Online ass motherfucker over here.
If
regular people,
the regular people had looked at Twitter throughout the whole thing, all they would have seen is a whole bunch of
terminally online. They have shit to do.
All they would have seen from their maybe 5-minute search would be a bunch of people pissing, screaming, and moaning, and they're like, I don't know what the fuck any of this means. What the fuck is it? But
I want to know what is.
Yeah.
You know, like, but they're all mad about this video game. Well, I mean, I don't really want to spend too much time here because this is the bad place. The video games, I'll just go to GameStop and buy a copy of it. How about that? I've got a PlayStation. Why not? You know, it's not rocket science.
No.
Look. The thing about the Harry Potter game, if we're gonna be real honest with ourselves right here, it literally doesn't matter. It's like, like here's the thing: nobody wants to talk about it as a video game. They want to talk about it as some cultural fucking virtue signaling ass shit. When it's really not that complicated.
Yeah. It just for me. Here's the thing. And I'm pretty sure you guys as well, but like, I have a lot of trans friends and I care about them and I know that they don't like what J.K. Rowling stands for. And
they also presumably don't give a shit about this because there are actual real problems to look at and not the fucking funny wizard game.
Exactly.
That doesn't fucking make any difference at all.
Exactly. And the thing is, it's just like, so like, I know my friends don't like it. I'm just not going to engage with it. I was just like, hey, I'm not going to buy this game. I don't care about this game. And I just ignored it. I have friends who have been playing the game. I don't give a shit. I really don't. Because it's just like, I gain and nobody will gain anything if I get into an argument with one of my friends because they're playing the Harry Potter game. And who gives a shit? Because like there's more important shit going on. And if you really want to know, here's the other thing. J.K. Rowling, Pottermore has reported that there's a 75% dip in profits. They have lost money.
Yeah.
So
it's kind of funny because the Hogwarts game out, I think it had more active players at one point than Elden Ring did at launch, and like as soon as Atomic Heart came out, it started to dip. As soon as Resident Evil 4 came out, it's like dropped entirely out of the top 100 on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Like no one's really playing it anymore because
better games have come out.
The normies may have finished it once and moved to other things. I mean, like that's just kind of how it be.
Here's the thing. In a very real sense, what you spend your money on as a luxury good only matters to one person, and that's you. People that want to use it as a virtue signal are fucking stupid, homeboy.
Correct.
Oh, no, you bought the wizard game? I'm not your friend. Are you that thin-skinned? Do you have bones made of glass and paper made of skin?
Skin made of paper?
I'm sorry, skin made of paper?
Like,
although if you have paper made of skin, it's called the Necronomicon bound in leather, but maybe you can revive Rowling's career.
The last thing I'll say on this before moving on is just...
I'm sorry, I shouldn't dead name her. I should use her new writer's name.
Oh, fair enough. The last thing I'll say on this before moving on, just because like I just don't want to get bogged down with this too much, is just that like... Here's the thing. As Devon alluded to earlier, there are significantly bigger problems facing the trans community, particularly in the US, than the stupid fucking wizard game.
Yeah.
Listen, if you are on either side of the argument, right, and you think that Robert Galbraith's wizard game is such a big deal, then I'm sorry, but Mr. Robert Galbraith does not give a shit about you or your opinion, whether you are pro or anti in this. It doesn't matter. It is a fucking video game about make-believe wizards that is about squashing a slave rebellion. That should tell you enough whether or not you give a shit about Robert Galbraith's game.
Correct. And the other thing...
If you want to give shit to somebody who buys it or doesn't buy it, you are an idiot and you deserve to be mocked.
Agreed.
Period. The end.
And the other thing is, and then because there's new outrage. I'm gonna stop after this, I promise. But like, there's
more Robert Galbraith.
yeah,
things?
because apparently they're rebooting the Harry Potter series on HBO.
Why would Robert do this?
Well,
Oh yeah, I saw HBO. I'm not sure it's a reboot or it's an original series set in like the universe, whatever.
It's a big quote reboot. It's gonna be like every season is gonna be like one of the books.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I'm sorry, but the average person is not going to be able to separate this from the cultural zeitgeist that was the original film.
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Well, no.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to say was, people are trying to make a big deal of it again. And here's just how it is. Here's just how it's gonna go. Just don't fucking watch it. Don't fucking engage with it.
Write your own shit.
Yeah.
Make your own shit.
Make your own wizarding world. Just do it. Just fucking
Why
put
not?
pen to paper and just make your own world
Listen,
and not deal with
you can do no work. You can do no worse than Robert, who canonically stated that before plumbing, wizards just shit on the floor and whisked it away. That's real. You can't do worse than that, even if you tried.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? The wizards were fucking? Of course they're fucking. They're people. They were into weird, kinky wizard sex. Wow, normal people are into weird, kinky sex. The only difference is they're not magical.
You know what? Now I kind of want to know about weird wizard.
Robert won't tell us about this. Robert might have invented the wizard Kama Sutra. I don't know.
Wizard Kama Sutra.
I mean, if you could
Can you imagine
levitate,
fucking in Hogwarts and then like nearly headless Nick shows up and John Cleese goes, "Oh shit, you're fucking." Oh, my bad.
You could levitate and shit, couldn't you? That would make things very. No more right.
Points at your dick, Wingardium Leviosa.
But anyway, that's all I want to say on that.
Yeah.
Again, Adam said, there are many more things affecting the LGBT community currently than fucking one cunt and her shitty book.
No.
Sorry.
Well, I mean, the reason why they're going after they're going after the game is because it's
easier.
Let's just be
No,
blunt.
it's easy and it's high profile.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's nothing but fucking virtue signaling. Go do it the hard shit. Just go do it the hard shit. The thing with a stupid game like this, it already is old news.
It wears itself out. This is how this shit works.
Look, man, the only controversy I want to deal with right now when it comes to video games is whether or not Max C should be banned in Yu-Gi-Oh! And fun fact, it should.
Done. Listen, the last time a video game generated this amount of shit, it was either fucking hatred, which was pretending to be as tough as Postal, which it wasn't.
God,
and the Mass Effect 3 ending, and that's about it.
I remember watching the trailer.
That's not true. There's also Spec Ops: The Line, which is a good thing.
I remember watching the trailer for Hatred, and honest to God, my first thought was, who the hell rips off the Doom logo?
It's just a mid twin stick shooter. You want to play a good twin stick shooter? Go play fucking Helldivers.
I was actually going to say I made a game with zombies in it. That's a really good one.
You made a game?
No, the game was literally called I Made a Game with Zombies in It. Yeah. It was an Xbox Live indie game, not even an arcade game, and it was shockingly fun. It was I forget the name of the studio that made it, but their second game was called Charlie Murder, and it was just okay. But sadly, it's
you can only capture lightning
platform.
once.
Yeah. But yeah, it was literally had like an original song that changed based on the level, and it was literally just I made a game with zombies in it. All one word.
I'd play it.
Yeah, they sold it for 99 cents. Really good twin stick shooter.
Speaking of,
I mean, it's not
video games. I want to definitely change subject now. We touched upon it because games that came out that kind of overshadowed the fucking other game. Fucking Resident Evil 4, man.
Yes.
So good.
Definitely full-time job.
It's not okay. Shut the fuck up. Okay. First and foremost, I
would like to reiterate to the viewers, we're going over this again because of the audio difficulty.
Yeah. Fuck you, Adam. Anyway, look. Okay. I'll talk about what I've been doing job-wise after this.
Nothing. That's what you've been doing.
I've been working on editing. I've been working on editing. I've been working on streaming. I've been trying to find work. I have work coming up like next week. I'll be gone from Thursday to Sunday working. So I'm like, I have work. It's just not consistent. Get off my ass. I am technically employed, fucker.
Yeah, but you weren't when you were playing Resident Evil.
No, I know. Actually, technically, I was because I got hired the day after my birthday.
Damn.
Devon, how many times have you finished the Resident Evil 4 remake?
We just go in Resident Evil 4 remake time to beat.
So like,
How many times? How many times, Devon?
Maybe 7 times.
No. There's one more to that number.
8 times.
There you go.
Look, and I may have been one of the top 50 ranks in Mercenaries the night it came out. That's
Devon.
Look, it's a good game, Adam.
Devon, did you get the
According
cat?
to how long to beat, Resident Evil 4 remake is 15.5 hours on average.
If you suck.
You've done it 8 times?
15.5 hours if you fucking
8
suck.
times?
Well, 15.5 hours for your first playthrough. It's like the original Resident Evil 4.
The first
it's
playthrough.
about 15 hours for the first playthrough. I feel for your second forward, it's like half that, if even.
Half.
You're also
if
probably
you
in the
suck.
top percentage of people that hit that first bear trap with their leg.
Hey, look. It only took me.
I was there for like the first 6 times.
It only took me like 8 playthroughs
Your
to
first
stop.
6 runs, it was a 100% bear trap percentage.
Oh my god! I was watching that Donkey did like one of his classic like fuck around and find out kind of gameplay, but he was enjoying himself immensely. And it was just like every single bear trap. Was like, motherfucker, you think I'd learn to spot these by now? It was great.
Well, okay.
God.
So
Google wants to know, is Resident Evil 4 remake scary? No.
no. Well, actually, I will.
Okay.
It was the original.
I did have some moments of genuine like, fuck, you know, but like that was just.
Yeah, but that was also because I did not gaslight. Gaslight implies malice. I heavily suggested that if you didn't start on hardcore, you're a baby.
True.
However, if you have not played Resident Evil 4 original, please don't start on hardcore. It is literally just professional with a little less of the edge rubbed off.
Yeah. God, what a mess of a fucking game.
Just play standard.
Okay, so I will fully admit, yes, I got really, really into Resident Evil 4 remake. I would have been playing it last night. It had my PS5 controller decided to not shit the bed. It's been drifting. And I can't really play it very well. It's very frustrating. So either I have to choose to play with a drifting controller or play with like a half second of input lag, and neither of those options are very good. When you have when you're playing on professional mode, you can only do perfect parries. So there's that. But I will say, the game is without a doubt one of the best Resident Evil games I've ever played. And it's not me going like, oh, because like 4 is my favorite, haha. No, like legit, the changes made to the game, the story changes made to the game, the interactivity you could do with the game. The game is quite literally fuck around and find out the video game. And like, I wish I was joking, but like, I was like, hey, what if I did this instead? What would happen if I did this? And it rewards you sometimes. Like, people found out you can do in a New Game Plus run, you can skip the entire village section of the game by going with a scoped weapon like the rifle and shooting the bell from the house. It rings the bell and it instantly ends the fight.
It just ends it. It's like, oh, hey, La Campana, cool, bye.
That's awesome, actually.
Yeah. People have found like shit you can like skip. There's like a few cutscenes you can skip, a few scripted sequences you can skip if you're good enough. Like there's a part in the castle section where this guy pulls a lever and you and actually the drawbridge you're on goes down and you have to fight a bunch of the Los Illuminados cult members. But if you throw a flash grenade or you set a mine with the bolt thrower, you can actually interrupt that ganado from pulling the lever and just grab the thing you need and leave. Like, it's crazy. People have already found like skips with the speedrun. People have already found, like, I've already abused some speedrun tech in it. I found out how to skip the entire Mendez fight. I have found out God, what else? I've learned how to skip parts of the castle wall. I have found out how to skip a big portion of the first cannon section. I mean, it's like the game basically rewards you for just fucking around with stuff. Like, you can literally skip like the Garador fight by setting mines on the way to the gate and just opening the gate, and he flips the fuck out. Like his AI does not know what to do. If you get out and he's still alive, he just kind of sits at the doorway and spins around. He's just like, what's going on? Where is everything? The game freaks out, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, I don't want to spoil any significant story bits. I don't want to spoil anything like that for you guys. Well, for anyone who hasn't played it yet, if you have played it, I mean, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't played it, I greatly implore you, please just go play this game. Go pick it up. It's fantastic.
I will be getting it Tuesday most likely.
The Mercenaries DLC that they added, like a couple of, like I would say last week, fantastic. It's so much fun. People are gonna complain because like you don't get to play as Ada and you don't get to play as Wesker, but they might be DLC in the future. It's speculated. And honestly, I could see it. It's fine. It's so much fun. It's such a blast just to play through. And I just got to say, just play it. Play it once. Play through the story mode once. Play it again. Play it a third time. Just do it. And now the thing that people are kind of upset about, and I think it's stupid that they're upset about it, is the DLC that they added. So they did add microtransactions, and what these microtransactions do is they allow you to buy a weapon upgrade immediately, meaning you don't have to grind for money in the game. You don't have to grind for spinels in the game. You can just, once you get to the merchant, you can immediately max out a weapon, any weapon that you have on your person.
One of the first game to do that, by the way. Like I remember one of them. I think it was Mortal Kombat 9 or 10. One of them added like it was more than what they're charging for all four ones. I think it was like $10, which just unlocked everything in the crypt for you automatically.
That's fine. If you don't want to, if you just want to ignore the content, I mean, I guess. But what I'm saying is, you still have to play through the game. It doesn't just make the game like free mode the game. Like you still have to play through it. Like I could see how it could help out if you're trying to speed through it and try to unlock more stuff. Like if you did it on your second playthrough with it, that's fine. Honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I mean, for real, if it was up to me, I'd probably do it. I mean, if I'm gonna have to end up getting this on PC, I'm probably gonna buy one for $1.99. I don't care, and I'll go ahead. I'll get the Chicago typewriter, unlock the typewriter again, or I'm sorry, the sweeper. Change the name of the sweeper, and I'll just unlock the sweeper and just max it out immediately and just blow through the game just to get the infinite ammo part. And then I never have to do it again because I've got infinite ammo. What do I care if it's maxed out? I have infinite ammo now. I can shoot whatever I want. It's whoop-de-doo.
Like,
and
does it suck they've added microtransactions? Yeah. However,
it's
really
nowhere.
The worst thing I've seen in my life. Like, it's not like the content's hard to get.
Yeah.
Even the normal way. I mean, like, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, like, do you remember the Star Wars Battlefront 2 thing? Well, it was just loot box casino.
Yeah.
Like that. I'm thinking to myself, that's like,
this is nowhere near as
really
bad as anything that those have put out. It's not a fucking battle pass. I don't have to play Resident Evil Mercenaries, 40 times to unlock a different skin for Hunk. Okay.
God, do you remember the fucking online passes that companies were doing like 10 years or so ago?
Dude, you're still doing it.
They're still doing online passes?
Oh no, you mean passes to actually play the game online? No,
Yeah, it was like, so I remember like Tekken Tag 2 did it infamously. So for those who don't remember, basically it was like a weird, for a while the industry towards the end of like the 7th generation, like the 360 PS3 Wii era, the industry got really funny about pre-owned games again. And to try and combat this, so they could get a couple of bucks coming in, should you buy the game pre-owned for a bit cheaper, they would include a DLC code, right, in the game. You put it in, and what it would do would be, it might give you a couple of random cosmetic things, right, but it would also unlock the online multiplayer. So I think infamously, one of the Battlefield games did it. I think Bad Company 2 did it. Mass Effect 2 and 3 infamously did it. I can't remember what else did it, but it was a really unpopular move. Eventually EA was the one really pushing it.
Oh, that tracks. It's fucking EA.
Eventually they did relent, and after like a few months and a few years, I think that, I don't quote me on this, there may have been some legal action which proved that it wasn't actually like ethical or legally sound to do. They did end up releasing like all the DLC for that for free instead of the $5 they were charging for it, but a lot of companies were doing it. Namco was doing it. I think EA was the main culprit. Activision was doing it. I think, oddly enough, the only ones at that time who really weren't doing it was Capcom, because I guess they were too busy doing on-disc DLC.
Oh god,
PC joke.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
But like, yeah, it was a lot, and it was rough. Like, I'm still thinking back to that. Like, do microtransactions suck? Yes. Would I rather this Resident Evil 4 remake not have them? Absolutely. Is it game? I don't know. It's bad, but like, I guess it's the difference between being slapped in the face and slapped in the balls, you know?
I mean, it's not even that
I'd
bad.
rather not get slapped, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to be, you'll take the face. Hopefully, you would take the face, right, Flyer?
yeah.
Okay, there was a concerning pause between your answer there.
Well, okay, so here's my stance on it. It's like, it's not the most like intrusive microtransactions in the world. Secondly, there's only so much you can do with it, and thirdly, you don't have to keep buying them to keep unlocking stuff on subsequent playthroughs. It stays with you the entire game. And lastly, I know for a fact, because this has just been a recurring thing with Resident Evil. Happened with Resident Evil 2 remake,
Yeah.
3 remake, 7 and 8. All these games did this. Give it 6 to 8 months. In 6 to 8 months, there will be a $5 DLC that will literally unlock everything in Resident Evil 4. All the secret costumes, all the secret equipment, the weapons, the additional ears, like the stuff you can get from Leon, like the cat ears, the wolf tail, the antlers, Ashley's armor, the pinstripe suit, the guns. It will literally unlock everything. And just like I said, they're going to do it because that's what they did with 2. That's what they did with 3. That's what they did with 7. And that's what they did with 8. They're going to do it with 4. So honestly, if you just wait and you want to do that instead, do that instead. It will not surprise me if they do that.
There's also an argument that it's basically an easy mode tax for, the kind of people who complain about games being too difficult as a disability issue, which I'm not going to get into because that brings up a whole different can of worms. So,
we had this discussion with Elden Ring and Dark Souls, and it's
it's basically a baby mode tax. You want baby mode, sure, but you got to pay for it.
Yeah, and honestly,
even the Game Audio ships with assisted mode, but
and honestly, like who cares? I don't care. Play the game how you want to play the game. If you want to spend money to get shit that you can already get in the game, go ahead. I genuinely do not care. Did you enjoy the game? Yes, great. That's all I care about now. Like, well,
and ironically as well, it's not that the stuff's hard to unlock.
It's not. It's really not. Like, there is literally a step-by-step process you can do to unlock everything. And if you start with assisted mode and work your way up to professional, you will unlock everything in like maybe 4 playthroughs. And that's
if even that, because I feel like a lot of it you can do in less than that, because it's all about the in-game currency, right?
No, it's not. It's not especially the in-game currency. To be professional mode, you need specifically to get 3 things to make it easier.
Oh, okay.
And that is, you want to get the Chicago Sweeper, you want to get Ashley's armor, and you want to get the chicken hat. And the best way to do that is to, if I remember correctly, if you S rank assisted, you get the infinite rocket launcher, or if you beat the game in general, you get the pinstripe suit. And I think if you beat it on standard, you unlock, or if you beat it on hardcore, I could be wrong. All I know is that beating it on hardcore nets you the chicken hat, and that's the hardest one to get because you have to S rank hardcore. You have to S plus rank hardcore, and that's the hardest part. It took me 2 tries to do it, and even then I barely did it. I squeaked out a 5.5 hour time. But with that being said, it is completely doable. You can follow how to do it online, and it's really not that hard. The only reason why I haven't done it yet is because, like I said, my PlayStation 5 controller has shit the bed. It's been drifting, and it's hard to play professional with a drifting controller. So I'm just literally going to wait until I get it on PC to play it again. Probably not going to touch it again until I get it on PC.
Good question. Why are PlayStation 5 controllers drifting? PS4 control. I don't remember hearing about a PS4 controller.
Bro, I couldn't tell you. I mean, actually, I could tell you. It's fucked up, but this is my theory. So I still have working PlayStation 2 controllers. PlayStation. I don't have a PS1. I never had PS1 growing up, so that's why I don't have that. That's why I skipped it. Just want to say it because someone's gonna say it in the comments. I still have working PS2 controllers. I still have working PS3 controllers. I still have working PS4 controllers. I've had this PS5 for less than 2 years, and the controller has already shit on me. Now, I have taken good care of my controllers. I took that thing apart. I cleaned it. I put it all back together. I tested it. It worked just fine. Still drifting. The reason, and this is my theory, you could call it a crackhead theory. I don't care. This is my theory, is that Sony recognizes that their audience has grown up and now they can kind of afford things. So if they can cheap out on the controller, they will, and now you have to buy a new controller. Now I
mean, this is how all like electronics have gotten over the years, because it's cheaper to replace than to repair.
Exactly, and
well, I mean, now planned obsolescence is quite literally an economic theory going back to the 30s. You know.
Well, hold on now, and this is what the thing is. This is my thing. I am mad because they say and this is Sony's site. The Sony site says this: if your controller experiences drift within a year of you owning your PS5, so if you can prove that you purchased your PS5 and your controller is drifting, they will fix it under warranty. That's fine, but mine is just barely out of warranty. Mine's been a year out of warranty, so I'm up a creek without a paddle. Now, it's frustrating because Adam, you brought this up the other night when we were talking about this. You said that Sega had this solved with the Dreamcast controller.
They had it solved back with the Saturn, actually, before the Dreamcast. They had it solved for the best part of 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm. And it's infuriating. It is so infuriating that I still have Nintendo 64 controllers that work just fine. You know the fucking thing, the little dangly bit in the middle. I have taken mine apart. I have fixed mine. I have cleaned mine. I still have my original sticks in my N64, and it works just fine. I can play through Banjo-Kazooie. These guys watch me do a speedrun. Well, speedrun I say loosely because I don't know all the stuff, but I was doing speedrun tricks in Mario 64 on my actual Nintendo 64. Like, I could still do that shit with an actual controller. But I can't do that with my PS5 right now. I can't even play it. I can't even watch shit on YouTube with my PS5. And it's so infuriating, man. Like I'm legit angry. And it's just like, we have this solved, but instead of now they're making a problem and selling me the solution. And the solution is buy another one of our shitty controllers.
I mean, what sucks is if you live closer, I would literally just tell you to come over, because replacing the sticks on them is just a desoldering job.
Right. And no, I saw that.
I mean, the other thing is that you can literally take the sticks out of PS4 controllers and put them into the PS5 controller. They're the same thing.
I still have to solder, though.
The PS4 ones are a slightly different serial number, I think. They will work, though. You're right. They will work, but they also won't drift. So it's actually a really good mod to do. I was looking into this. Sorry, I was like, really, like, how the fuck? I was looking into this, and like,
no, it's actually really easy. It's fucked up.
I like the PS4. I'll be honest. I like the PS4 controller more than the PS5 controller. That thing sucks.
I'll be honest. I don't like Sony controllers in general. That said, if I was to pick one, the PS4 controller is probably the best of the bunch.
Oh, for sure. Like, the PS4 controller is like where I got my most time in. Like, I love playing fighting games on the PS4 controller because the D-pad is great on that thing. I love.
See, what drives me nuts about playing fighting games on PlayStation 4 in general, particularly once it became tournament standard, the PlayStation 4 port Ultra Street Fighter 4. This is after it was fixed. Heavy disclaimer. Is the lack of a select button, because it would be bound to the record button, and it freaking sucks because you can't select Blink.
You couldn't hit the touchpad for select?
Nope.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
But
the touchpad taunts.
But anyway,
yeah.
It's very frustrating because like I want to play more Resident Evil 4. I'm not going to deny it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But now I can't. And it's very frustrating because, like, this is just, like, the one thing I'm going to get for a while until, I start working some more. Because I can't afford, like, the Mega Man Battle Network collection as much as I'd love to have it right now. I
Those
can't.
controls are like $80. They're fucking expensive.
What is?
The PlayStation 5
Oh
controllers.
yeah,
They're fucking
yeah.
expensive.
I can't afford a new controller to replace it. I can't afford another copy of Resident Evil 4 for PC right now. I can't. There's a lot I can't do. And this is not me begging, guys. I'm gonna be honest. If anyone's listening right now, do not feel like you're obligated to send me anything or give me any money or anything like that. As much as I love getting money, unless you want to, but like don't really. Like, I'm not begging for help right now. I'm
open.
I'm stating a fact that I can't afford to just drop $80 on a new controller. I can't afford to drop $60 on just a different game. I bought new Joy-Cons for the first time in 5 years since I've owned a Nintendo Switch, because the drift on that was getting so bad I could not deal with it.
Oh shit, I need to buy new Joy-Cons, that reminds me.
Yeah, and that was $80, man. And it's crazy that controllers cost this much and they shit out that quickly. It's so infuriating. And it just honestly, I'm just about to just stick to PC forever and just do mouse and keyboard, because that a new mouse and keyboard is not going to cost me anywhere near as much. Let me finish. A good
keyboard might be like $150.
Yeah, but it'll last me a lot longer. I've had the same keyboard, Adam, for 5, maybe 6 years, and I did maintenance on it maybe 3 days ago, and it's fine. It still works just fine. I cleaned it out. I took all the keys out. I wiped it down with alcohol. I blew the thing out, and it's perfectly fine. No problems at all with this fucking thing.
As the resident mechanical enthusiast, I'm like, yeah, you'll spend like $150 on a. Like right now, I'm using a Razer Huntsman 2. Decent keyboard. I know. You can get a custom keyboard for the same money. I like the Razer purple switches. Fucking sue me. Here's the thing though. Each one of these keys is insured for 6 million individual presses. Can you say that about the PlayStation 5 joysticks?
No.
I understand why the Switch Joy-Cons are expensive as they are, and that's purely the engineering cost of getting that technology miniaturized when you consider everything that's going on inside of them. I still think it's bullshit how fast they fucking break.
Have you ever taken apart a Switch? A Switch Joy-Con?
I have not, and I need to. One of them, my fucking the trigger button's not working.
It is fucking terrifying. Oh my god!
It's all miniaturized.
I took apart my Joy-Con that was drifting. I was like, maybe I can clean this thing out and fix it. I took one look at that. I'm like, look, man, I've fixed N64 controllers. I've taken apart a PS4 controller. I have taken apart and fixed a Game Boy Advance and a Game Boy Advance SP.
Yeah.
I ain't fucking with a Switch. That is terrifying. I do not have the tools for that. That thing scares me.
I have the tools for it. I just need I need to read a guide on how to do it, because I'm just making sure, because on one of ours they should work fine, but the shoulder button is just not working.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to work out why, because like right now the wife is playing through Zelda again.
You know what I miss?
Using a Pro controller.
You know what I miss? Fucking $20 knockoff, like different store brand controllers.
We're not bringing Mad Cats back.
Not Mad Cats. Not Mad Cats. When I was younger, I had a controller I bought for $20 from Walmart for my PlayStation 2, and that thing was a workhorse, and it was great, and it was actually a small controller too. It was like smaller than the standard size, and it was great. I loved that fucking thing. And if I could,
was it one of those fucking InGen ones or whatever?
I don't remember what the brand of it was. I genuinely do not remember, but it was fantastic. It worked just fine, and it wasn't like that shitty quality that you get with Mad Cats, where you could just feel it, like you put it in your hands, you're like, oh wow, this is awful. No, it was actually
Mad Cat's pre the arcade stick years.
Yeah,
you should probably state.
Yeah, it was actually great. Like I really really liked it, and
yeah, I'm
never gonna get to have a controller like that again. Like, cause man, I just don't like modern controllers. This is a big problem I had, and I will state this is the one problem I had playing Resident Evil 4, and it's not the game's fault. It's the controller. The PS5 has that, what is it called? The, when you press against the triggers, the adaptive feedback, the haptic feedback, that's what it's called.
That's it.
Yeah.
I hated that shit. Like, when I was like doing the knife strikes on the Gigante, I really had to press in to do it as fast as I wanted to, and it's like a lot of extra effort. And then like shooting, you kind of have to like do a little more effort than you would just flicking it, you know, and shooting. And I appreciate it. I do. I like it, but like if I'm playing for an extended play period, it gets really tiring. Like I felt the muscles in my fingers just start to cramp up after a while. It's just like,
I will say one of the few things I've done that have haptic feedback that's made a lot of sense was Oculus Rift with the haptic feedback on the touch controllers made a ton of sense.
I mean, I could see where that makes sense, but it's just like on the PS5, it's so unnecessary and it sucks. I hate it. I liked it in Spider-Man, because in Spider-Man I was like, it's fine, because like it wasn't that like it was funny. It was fun when I was shooting webs. Let's just leave it at that. When I was shooting webs and like I was
Shot webs.
yeah, when I shot web.
How do I shot web?
Aim with no, it's R2. aim with L2, shoot with R2. That's how you shot web. But
yeah,
it was fine there. But in a game where it's just like you're shooting a gun a lot, it's not fun. I think if I'm gonna play through it again, I'm just gonna disable it, because that's I don't need it.
Yeah.
But it's just so frustrating, because like now these controllers just blow.
Like what it seems to be like a recent thing as well, because so just kind of context, I've been using the same Xbox One controllers for years and they seem to be fine. Xbox controllers fine. Joy-Cons drifting. I'm trying to work out what the hell's different now. I've got Dreamcast controllers, which are, you know, God, almost 25 years old now, completely fine. I've got, you know, analog stick controllers older than that, seem to be completely fine. I just don't get it. So planned obsolescence is one of the things that greatly bothers me as a tech enthusiast, because okay, Adam's going to give you an education now in the 3 R's, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Here we go.
Planned obsolescence is generally used by companies, they claim, as a way to quote-unquote protect trade secrets. That's not the case at all. It's because they want you to buy a new one to replace something you've already got. They want to create a reason for you to buy a new one, because you've only bought it once. Why do you need to buy it once, right? Particularly in the case of, I don't fucking know.
Yeah, why not buy it twice?
Buy it 3 times. Fuck
great
it.
Example.
Yeah.
Or iPhones or iPads, but neither here nor there on that particular one. So they intentionally manufacture it with some kind of intentional defect. Something may not be a defect now, but may end up being a defect later. And what ends up happening is very, very few of these controllers or phones or tablets or whatever the fuck it might be, MacBooks, end up being recycled, because they just get taken to a manufacturer, usually straight back to the manufacturer to be refurbished. And if they're still in the warranty, the manufacturer's typically just going to throw them away and then, dispose of them, because they can't get company quote-unquote trade secrets out into the wild, right? That'll be against protocol. So we end up with a whole bunch of electronics that could very easily be repaired or recycled, destroyed, usually through incineration, which is horrible for the environment, because we've created a problem that didn't need to exist in the first place. And I'm just going to go for soapbox now, because I'm slightly drunk and this situation pisses him the fuck off.
No, it's fine. I mean, again, I agree with you.
Adam's not wrong. That's the fucked up part.
Adam's not wrong. Adam's absolutely correct. Because here's another reason why I used to sell phones. I used to sell cell phones for Verizon and for T-Mobile back in like 2012, 2013 to 2015.
Yeah.
And the worst was always Apple. Because
they intentionally put things like the battery degradation in there, and they got caught red-handed doing it. At least we forget.
Yeah, and it's so infuriating, because people will be like, "Oh yeah, Apple phone's the best. Apple phone's so good. Apple phone's great." I'm just like, okay, cool. Tell me why I have to replace yours every fucking 2 years, every year even. I gotta get the new tech. I gotta, and it's just like they're fed this lie that they have to keep upgrading to get the next best thing, so that their cool phone can do more cool phone things. Oh, now you can take even better pictures. It's just like, what was wrong with the camera you had? It's fine. Like
So it's a fashion statement, you know.
I've had the same phone for 2 years now. Going on 3. Sometime in, I want to say, September. And I'll be honest, I hate the thing. But that's because I picked a bad phone. I had the One Touch before I had this Google
Yeah.
Pixel. I'm going back to One Touch because that's a great phone brand. I really liked it, and I had that one
Yeah,
for.
I went Note 9 a few years ago, and I'm still on the Note 9 because I refused to get the headphone jack. And I'm thinking to myself, when it's time for the upgrade, fuck, I should probably get like a Note 10 or whatever, because I've just got kind of like the big chunkier phone.
Yeah, and that's fine. But like,
Yeah.
man, I just can't stand iPhones because like they just go to shit so fast, and then it's so unintuitive to me. It just feels like if you buy this, you hate customizing your phone. You hate having the freedom to do what you want with your phone. Because, like, man, I cannot tell you. I have tried to use an iPhone before, and I hated it. I hated it the whole time I was using it. My ex-girlfriend had an iPhone, and I would use it, like, because I think at the time the Ace Attorney HD collection had come out only on, like, the Apple Arcade or whatever the fuck it was, the App Store back then.
Yeah.
And I tried it. I tried to play it on there, and I hated it the whole time because I'm just like, I just want to go back. I don't want to like go back to the home screen and close the game. Like can I just reopen? No, okay, what's going on here? It's just like having just the one button there. It's so frustrating, and I hated it the whole time, and it's just. I just don't vibe with it. I just don't vibe with Apple. I never have, and I never will.
See, what annoys me in particular about their yearly phone releases, again, a lot of the time when these people buy into the ecosystem and they go year after year for the new phone, they'll go to their carrier, who's usually an authorized Apple dealer, and those phones what do you think happens to the iPhones that get traded back in year after year? That are maybe a year old, usually very little to no things wrong with them, maybe a chip here or there, something that could be very easily be fixed or replaced. What do you think happens to those phones when they go back to Apple?
Oh no, what?
What were we saying earlier about how they can't let trade secrets out?
So they just destroy them?
Yep.
It's such a waste.
Perfectly reasonable devices could easily be refurbished and reformatted and so no, because it would then lower the value of the new iPhone.
Capitalism sucks, man.
This is a very American phenomenon, and I forget the name of the guy who drafted this proposal, but it dates back to the Great Depression, and it was literally a planned obsolescence as a way to lift the American economy. And it was this guy basically put this idea saying, make things they intentionally break so you had to buy a new one. And, I mean, there's a running gag about, like, how things used to be built better. In certain cases, they're not wrong.
No, they're not.
Particularly, I'm looking at, like, ovens being a great example.
I mean, your wife, like, she has, like, what, a fucking sewing machine from, like...
Oh, yeah. She has 3 sewing machines that are all 3 of them at 120 years old.
Yeah, and they all work, right? Or most of them work or whatever?
They work fine. They seem to be refurbished. One of them, this is from years and years and years and years of use, is very, very, the mechanically needs to be tightened up significantly. I need a donor part, but yeah, like, no, they all work. We've got an electronic one from the 60s, which is the day-to-day one that wife uses. That one works completely fine, no issues. I've got other random bits as well around the house, and particularly actually in my video game collection, which are significantly older, which also work just fine because they didn't have that planned obsolescence in them. So it's like it's a very American phenomenon, and it's very, very bad. And please stop doing it.
Please, I beg of you, stop.
But Apple will never stop doing it because it makes them money. Like don't get me started on the last few generations they did of the Intel MacBooks, because that was actually disgusting.
Well, I mean, you worked for Best Buy. You have reason to hate them.
Oh my god, dude. The last few years of the Intel ones was so bad before they released their own silicon. They were intentionally gimping the performance of the Intel ones. And, like, with these fanless versions, you ever want to hear, like, a sentence that's going to make you fucking wince? Fanless i9.
No.
There you go. And it performed like shit. And people are like, oh, but it's an i9. Yeah, it performed like shit because it was inadequate cooling for a chip like that.
That's insane.
Like, what the hell?
That's actually insane. What the
Adam's been drinking, by the way, so Adam's a bit more looser than normal.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Anyway,
Adam had a rough week.
I get you, man. I get you. But at the end of the day, the whole thing that started this conversation was Resident Evil 4 remake. Good, play it, please.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say about
Resi
that.
2, I've been playing. Remake, good.
It's good. Yeah, they're both good.
Mr. X a bitch, but a good.
Skill issue, but continue.
Yeah, well, I'm playing through the first time. I'm on Claire B right now. And I was just before we had to restart, I was saying I was just getting annoyed with him because with the B campaign, Mr. X is basically there from the get-go almost immediately. And it's very hard to get things done before he shows up. Like with Leon A, it's very easy to get a lot of things done before we have to worry about dealing with him. And then all of a sudden, motherfucker's here right now. God damn it. I got to run around and get the puzzle solved with him just chasing my ass around the place. Fuck's sake.
I gotta say, I don't know what it is about Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
But they bring out the speedrunner in me. And
I think it's because they encourage it. They as you said earlier, they quite literally encourage you to fuck around and find out, you know.
They're
like,
really
yeah, go ahead, break it. We want to see what you can do.
Because like in Resident Evil 2 remake, I don't feel so bad about talking about the breaking the game in this one, because like you can skip a significant portion of the game. And I'm not sure if they ever fixed this, but like if you let a zombie bite you while you're on the stairs, the game doesn't handle the incline very well, and you clip through the plane, but you're still technically upstairs. And then if you walk while you're clipped through the part where, and I'm not sure if you've gotten this part yet, but it's in the library. If you try to walk across the library and just to get to the top section where the bell is, where the bell in the top is, and the game.
That's what I'm doing with right now. He's get the lever.
Yeah, the game will stop you by making you fall through the floor, because the floor gives out underneath you, and then you have to move the bookcase over and walk across the bookcases.
Yeah.
So if you're on a lower plane when that happens, you fall through the map. And then you can actually get to the garage and skip pretty much most of the RPD, and just go basically to the Nest Lab in the sewer.
Nice.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I figured out how to do that, and I was doing that when I was playing it sometimes. I learned how to do the skip the Mendez fight. Like I said that when I was playing, going through earlier, because it was actually kind of an easy skip to learn. It's crazy how easy it is, and it's just fun. I just like doing it, and it's weird to me. There are people on the internet that throw a fucking hissy fit whenever you do speedrunning tech. Like you skip parts of the game, or you clip through stuff, or you do something and you get past something faster. They will throw a fucking hissy fit for some reason. Because
when you say that, all I can think of is that shit post with Shadow the Hedgehog going around. Why is speedrunning so popular with the radical left?
I remember that.
That
was dumb.
I can't do a Shadow voice, but yeah.
It's just like, I was thinking why speedrunning is so popular with the radical left community, huh? And it's just like, but it's so funny because like, why are they getting mad? It's like, oh, you're using glitches. You're skipping past the game. You're not playing it right. You need to play it right. It's just like, my brother in Christ, how many times do you think I played through this game before I learned how to do that? Like, it took me like 7 playthroughs before I learned I could skip that boss fight. Like, why are you mad? I've already beaten the game. Chill the fuck out. And it's like they think speedrunners like hate to play video games, and they just want to get them over and done with as fast as possible. And yes, that's true, but
it's not they hate the video game, it's that they've literally played it into the point it's about to break, and they're enjoying themselves so much they're like, fuck it, let's see what happens if I push my luck here and here and here.
Yeah.
You know, I think these are people who obsessively played these games to try and find this tech. You look, let's take for example the speedrun tech in Doom 2016.
Okay.
Do you think that somebody like without intentionally looking for it, knew the exact rock to shoot the I forget what it's called, the big laser cannon thing.
Mm-hmm.
In the opening level, they could skip most of the level right there by literally zooming over that. Do you think they went looking for that by accident, or they were fucking around after playing the game for umpteen million times to unlock that weapon and get it fully upgraded to
do that,
to find it from there?
Yeah. It's like at this point, like take a speedrun game like Mario 64. Mario 64 is a solved game. Like. At this point, the speedrun community is basically how good are you at doing these skips? How good are you at doing your A presses? How good are you at landing your jumps? At timing your clips? Like how good are you at doing this? And it's just like it shows these people are really good at this game because they've played it like hundreds of thousands of millions of times. You know, well probably not millions, but hundreds of thousands of times. And like honestly, it's crazy what you can do in Mario. Like. Fucking I'm not sure. I'm sure you guys. Okay, that was dumb. I don't know why I preferenced this, but like Maximilian Dude, you guys know Maximilian Dude.
Yeah.
He has been playing Mario 64 for the first time, and
yeah, I've been watching that.
It's a hoot. It's so funny. Like watch him try to do the baby penguin. Fantastic. It was great.
He understood like 5 hours and like, oh no, 64 is tight as fuck.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And he also learned why we always throw the baby penguin off the cliff because he deserves it.
Yeah, we hate that.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah.
But like watching him figure that out was the funniest thing. But then he also learned about the beating, like getting a specific star in like half an A press. And he learned about like the A pressing, like how you hold down the button. And he's just like, yeah, I mean, that's a thing in Marvel where like if you hold down the assist, like at the beginning of the round and you let go of it, you call your assist frame 1. And it's just like, yeah, he gets it. He understands how the A frame, like how the A pressing works in that game. It's the same in Mario 64. If you hold down the button, then you release it on a certain frame and you'll immediately jump. And like, and he gets that, and like he was following along with the video. And he's like, parallel universes, what the fuck is going on? Like watching him like kind of break down about how Mario 64 worked with the speedrun tech and everything, and just like how people have figured out parallel universes and like the like holding down the A button a certain number of times and like how to gain speed on inclines and shit was hilarious. But my point is, that is a fucking solved game, and because of that you can watch videos like that and learn. You can see how people have broken the game, and it's fun. Like I implore anyone who hates speedrunners or hates like doing speedruns, boot up a copy of 64, boot up a copy of Mario 64, Japanese copy, or not Japanese, English copy. If you can do it, it has to be the original Nintendo 64, or do it on the Switch's Nintendo Online service, and do the English one, and learn how to do a backwards long jump. And the first time you do a backwards long jump and skip through a door, you're going to be hooked for life. It is.
I realize I have that Switch collection with that Odyssey and Sunshine on it.
No, that's a different
Galaxy.
version.
You can't do that in that version.
Oh yeah, I forgot they removed a bunch of random stuff.
Well, no, they didn't. They didn't remove anything. It's an
updated ROM.
It's the Japanese version, the second edition of Mario 64 that was released in Japan. You cannot do the backwards long jump in that version of Mario 64. They patched it out.
Boo.
Yeah, that's why I said. But I still got 120 stars and played through it anyway, so I don't really. It's not a big deal there.
I mean, the biggest sin when I played it through is the So Long Gay Bowser, which sounds like So Long Gay Bowser, is gone.
Yeah, they took that out too.
I watched the Mario movie the other night. I went to the cinema for the first time in bloody hell since COVID, and watched it. And I was waiting for a So Long Gay Bowser, and I was very disappointed there was not.
Yeah, I was really hoping when you threw him, he would do it.
I was hoping for that too, actually, and he didn't do it. And I was just like, huh, 0 out of 10 movie. The critics were right. Actually, okay, so now we brought it up, let's just talk about the Mario movie, because why not?
We'll try and keep it as spoiler free as possible, though I'll be honest, there wasn't a huge amount of plot to spoil.
Yeah.
It's very light on plot.
Yeah,
let's just put it that way.
It's just, I mean, what you've seen in the trailers is basically the story. Mario it needs to save Luigi because
You saw the original movie. It's the same plot.
yeah, Mario and Luigi get separated. Mario has to save Luigi from Bowser. Bowser wants to, do what he wants to do in every fucking Mario game that has a plot, quote unquote. Uh, it's literally Mario Odyssey without the Odyssey, I guess you could say.
Without Cappy.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. Especially if you have played literally any Nintendo game in the last 20, 30 years.
Or preferably a whole bunch. Like, if you're like us and you play video games, you're going to get a ton out of it. If you haven't, you're going to be lost as fuck.
I wouldn't even say that. I think it's just a fun little thing. Because at this point...
But, Adam, it has all the charm of an unplugged Game Boy.
Oh my god.
Well, that kind of is my point, though. Like, anyone with a fucking brain would have been like, Game Boys run on batteries, you dipshit. The people who would, particularly these first critical reviews that came out, would have been people who typically write for things like the Chicago, New York Times, the Chicago Tribune's the big one that Ebert
I
used
would
to
have
write
loved
for.
to see what Roger Ebert would have thought of the Mario movie.
Oh, same. But
Just
the
read
thing
his
is,
review of the original, I guess.
the thing is like these people don't play video games, and they would have not gotten half the references. Like, they would have not. They like, you can. It's not a spoiler because you can see it now in the official music video. They would have seen something like the Ludwig von Cooper branding on the piano.
Yeah.
And they would have been like, I don't get it. Whereas we're like, oh yeah, that's cool because Ludwig was one of the Bowser children in Mario 3.
The Koopaling.
Or they would have seen Punch Out Pizza and they'd have been like, eh?
I love
that's not the Punch Out.
I love the Punch Out Pizza because like that scene alone had like a majority of the Easter eggs in it. Like, because it had not only like a bunch of like Punch Out characters on the wall, it also had like the Duck Hunt duck on the wall. It had a guy playing Jumpman, literally called Jumpman, is Donkey Kong.
Yep. And of course the guy's voiced by Charles Martinet.
Yeah. Like,
yeah, but Charles Martinet is also Mario's dad.
That too, which I did like. And I mean, it's got a lot of charm. I'll say that. It's got a lot of charm to it. I think it's worth seeing. I probably am going to go watch it again. Not anytime soon. I think when it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray, I'll probably pick it up.
It's supposed to be streaming in a month, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, yar har fiddly dee anyway.
Game Rip's probably already go.
Yeah, probably. But like, it's a fun little film, and it's full of little Easter eggs that you would really, really enjoy. And like, the thing I didn't like about it, and this is the big gripe I had with it, was the licensed music. I felt like it really took away from the film.
It's an Illumination movie.
I get that. I get it's an Illumination movie, but it's also a Nintendo film, and I feel like Nintendo, you have this incredible backlog of music and composers that you have access to. Fucking Koji Kondo, man, is like right there, and you put you fucking put Take On Me in the Donkey Kong section when you should have put like, I don't know, Jungle Japes.
Well, no, originally there was music for there was a remixed Donkey Kong track there, but then it got shifted out for Take On Me.
That's stupid. They should.
There's a few other scenes as well where they had licensed music in as well. I was like, why is this here instead of like a Nintendo theme? A lot of it was like 80s and 90s music, which was very clearly trying to bait Gen X, get their nostalgia salvation going, but like. They're already here at the Mario movie. They're already having a nostalgia trip, you know?
The Mario movie that does not take place in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Wait, it takes place in an unspecified time period,
No, it doesn't. Luigi has a smartphone.
Oh, point, yeah.
Luigi has a smartphone.
That takes the movie to at least the last 7 years.
Yeah, Mario's playing an NES. I mean, it's hooked up to his TV.
Mario's playing an NES with a modern CNN news.
Yeah.
Styling.
Yeah, and like Luigi's have a cracked smartphone. And yeah,
we've had the iPhone now for the best part of 20 years. At least we forget.
Yeah, well, I mean, the way it looked was very much a more modern one.
I mean, even if we take it like that, there's a Luigi has the smartphone. There's the TV that they're watching in the diner is very obviously a flat screen.
Yeah.
The TV, as I said with Mario, when it gets changed over to the news, it is very actively using current CNN news styling.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah.
bottom ticker and like the red and all that shit.
Yeah. That's very much the way it takes place. So it's just like, it's weird that they would put just like, I get it. Yeah. It's Illumination. I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of Illumination films because I don't have kids. And so I'm not forced to watch them. So I don't have little screaming children going, I want to watch Minions. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. Like,
I mean, the first one, the first Despicable Me was
yeah, I will say the
It was
first
fine, yeah.
Despicable Me was good, but
as was saying.
that's it.
I remember watching. My mum would really like. So when she was here last summer, we watched Sing 2, and I was like, I want to die.
See, like, here's the thing. I'm not saying any of the other ones. Like, the first one is charming enough where you're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, this is decent. And then you realize that this is going to be run into the ground immediately, and you're like, ah.
Oh, hardcore,
Yeah.
hardcore, particularly with Despicable Me.
It feels bad, because, like, it feels like the first Despicable Me was, like, a genuine, actually fun movie.
It was.
And then you remember, nowadays, it's like, oh, wait, this is Illumination. They're going to fuck all of this up. But back then, when it first came out, you're like, oh, this is a fun movie. Surely they're not going to, like, brutalize the shit out of this and turn it into an entire franchise that defines their animation studio.
And yet they did.
Man stares at camera.
I'll tell you the studio that I genuinely I'm like what is with these hit and miss stuff is like DreamWorks. Cuz like Shrek
Well, hold on. Every Shrek movie, not counting the third one, has been a hit.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it wasn't. But like also like Over the Hedge was bad.
Yeah, Prince of
wait,
Egypt.
Prince of Egypt
was
good. B
Which one was
movie
Shrek 3?
bad.
'Cause- Which one was Shrek 3? Because wasn't Shrek 4 the bad
No.
one with
No,
Rumpelstiltskin?
no.
or whatever?
It was Shrek 1 was a good one.
Shrek 2 was
a
good.
good one.
Shrek
Shrek
3
3
was
is so awful it literally does not get counted.
yeah.
Who was,
There's,
who was
Shrek, okay, Shrek 3 is the one where they have to find Prince Arthur or whatever the hell it is. Or,
Some shit.
Yeah, and
no one cares. No one
Shrek
watches
doesn't
3.
want to be
Everyone skips
king,
it.
so he's got to find the next suitable heir.
You gotta find somebody else to do this
yeah,
shit.
yeah. It's
Justin Timberlake,
Timberlake's
yeah.
in it, right? Yeah.
Literally,
Shrek
no one
4
likes 3. It is erased from history.
Shrek 4 is the one which is also really bad because it was, I remember the villain was Rumpelstiltskin or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not as bad.
It's not as bad as 3.
It is
People
more preferable than 3 to the point that everyone literally writes 3 off.
I know that like the Puss in Boots film, the first one is just kind of but people really seem to like this new one.
I saw the new one. It is legitimate. When did it come out? Fucking last year?
October of last year, yeah. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
I want to.
Best film of last year, as far as I'm concerned.
I really want to watch it, and that was definitely a hit. And then like Megamind is also that's like my favorite by far.
Megamind has no right being as good as
And yet it is. It's so fucking good. Will Ferrell does a fantastic job as like the bumbling villain hero.
No, it's great.
He's so good. He's amazing, and just like the little character traits that he does, like how he can't pronounce certain words properly. Like he calls it shul. He's like olo, and just like it's funny. It's like I think that's a funny character trait that they just kind of stuck with him. And I'm not sure if that's something that like maybe Will Ferrell came up with like in the fucking booth, or if that's something that they wrote in. Like it could be either. I don't know, but like. That's my favorite one. That's my favorite DreamWorks film for sure. And it's just
Will
like
Ferrell's such a hit and miss actor.
he really is. He really, really is.
I feel like a lot of it is direction.
You could say that about a lot of like films. Like some actors are just bad.
Speaking of bad direction, if we can circle back around, Ada.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there's a lot of questionable voice acting in the Resi 4 remake. Actually, it looks like.
Okay.
People have been
I mean-
I don't remember the fucking actress's name off the top
Okay.
of my head.
So it's
someone watching will know, but
it's a different
people
actress.
have been giving her shit. No. I'm aware it's not the same as for the
Remake.
2 remake.
Yeah.
But like this is the same Ada that's like in the movies, like the animated movies, if I remember correctly. And it's just so weird that I don't know if this is a directing thing, if this is just like her. I don't know. Literally, no one I know is happy about the Ada voice in 4 remake.
It's not okay. So like okay. So as a quote unquote voice actor, I'm saying it in quotes. I've landed one actual role, so I'm just
Counts.
It counts.
Counts.
It very much could be one of two things. So it's one, it could have been bad direction. Because there are some lines in the Resident Evil 4 remake that I feel are just kind of bland and just not delivered very well.
Particularly with Leon as well, has got a lot of like, delivery ones.
Yeah.
See, but here's the thing. Leon is less egregious, and I don't know if that's just a matter of you hear him talking the entire way, so you get used to it.
Yeah, you're definitely more accustomed to hearing his voice because it's also, if you remember, the same voice actor. It's Nick.
From 6,
yeah.
isn't it?
No. 6 was Matt Mercer.
What?
Yeah, it's from 2 remake. The same guy from 2 remake.
Yeah,
all right.
It's Nick.
I forget his name. Yeah.
Nick Axelades or something like that. Anyways, he does. He was really excited to do Leon because he liked Leon Resident Evil 4. Like he said, Paul Mercier was
a defining Leon.
Yeah. Well, he was also saying like Paul Mercier was the reason he got into voice acting, or I'm not sure if it was Mercier or Haddad, whichever one did 4. And he's like, that's why I did voice acting, and I'm happy to do this role. Because as much as I don't like IGN did do a video interview with him, and they had him read some of the classic lines from Resident Evil 4, and he was talking about how he was really happy some of the lines got in, because like they wanted to get rid of the bingo line, and he was just like,
no, you're not doing
that. And he just said, hey, because they couldn't figure out a good way to get rid of it, and they're just like, hey, what if we just do the bingo line for shits and giggles? And it's just like, yeah, that one has to stick. And it's like, yeah, no shit, it's the bingo line, the one everyone knows. But
most of the bit lines are in, which is
but your right hand comes off is not, which is a crime.
Your right hand
but
comes off isn't. No thanks, bro, isn't. But I like this Leon.
No way, friend.
No. The overtime line is
I don't remember. Did Hasta Luego?
Hasta Luego is still in. He does say Hasta Luego when he shoots at the barrel at the Chief Mendez.
Right.
But let's step back a little bit to what we were talking about with Ada's voice actress. From what I have read, and this is just from the research I have done, and if I'm wrong, please call me out. Tell me that I'm wrong and tell me what the truth for this one. But from what I have been told, from what I have read and what I've seen, she is an on-screen actor. And there's a difference between on-screen acting and voice acting. Because on-screen, you can use your body more to do emotes and emote through your body movements and the way that you talk. You can't do that with voice acting.
All right, counterpoint?
Go ahead.
Mark Hamill.
That's Mark Hamill.
On-screen actor.
I understand. That's Mark Hamill, though. He is also a trained voice actor. In fact, I would say I've seen him in more voice acting. Let me...
okay, so we're going to rewatch Wizards now? Where was the first one?
Okay.
Well, actually, the thought I was actually going to have was Nathan Fillion. I'd also heard, now I cannot verify this, the Ada voice actress. With the Ada voice actress, cannot verify this. I'd also heard that they only actually had her for 1 day in the booth.
That doesn't sound right.
Which again, unverified. I literally saw this on Twitter. So...
Okay, that's probably not true. Because what I saw was from her Instagram.
Yeah.
See, because here's the thing. There's not a lot of it, but I have heard some of the other VA work that she did, and it was fine. So I don't know whether it was just like a weird because RE4 remake was made during
COVID,
presumably the pandemic. So I don't know how much of this is maybe she was recording in her own house, apartment, wherever. Maybe it was that they had limited booth time. Maybe it's just not very good direction. It could be a mix of things.
I mean, it could be. It very much.
But for whatever it is, whatever this final result that came in the shipped product is just not very good. And there's also the other reason that, and this is going to be one that you can say is true of anything, is expectation.
Yes.
Yep.
When you hear the original, because here's the thing, the lady that was doing Ada's voice in Resident Evil 2 remake, I don't know her name. That sounded how we remembered Ada in RE4, because remember there was no voice acting in the original RE2.
Correct. Well, there was.
There was voice
Not
acting.
for any big fucking shit like this.
Yeah.
Not totally all the way through it.
Yeah. Well, I think like
I mean,
Ada had
the
like
voice actress in 2 was a bit of a meme. Yeah,
Yeah.
the original 2 was definitely a bit of a
Ada
meme.
had
Look,
like
the
what
point
5
here
or 6
is-
lines before she died, and like I always make fun of Leon going Ada like all the time.
Look,
Yeah.
look. The point here is that if we're gonna compare Resident Evil 2's Bit Crush PS1 voice acting to Resident Evil 4 GameCube voice acting, we're not doing.
No, you can't.
Going into RE4 the original, and then going into the remake afterwards, you are under the expectation that Ada is this like femme fatale figure,
Mhm.
and in your head that sounds a certain way.
Right.
It's entirely possible that if Resident Evil 4 original did not exist, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Erase it from your mind. Resident Evil 4 remake is the only way you've ever heard of Resident Evil 4.
Mhm.
It's entirely possible that you would listen to that and go, yeah, that's what Ada sounds like. I don't think that's the case. I just do not know what happened in that booth or with that direction or with any of that led to what is the final 1.0 VA work involving Ada.
Correct. And the thing is,
No one does besides her
Mhm.
and the sound technician at Capcom.
right. And the
Yeah.
thing about that is, and this is what we really need to touch upon. Absolutely do not go after the voice actors on their social media and tell them that they did a shitty job, or tell them that they were like that they sucked or anything like that, because that is so fucking rude and disheartening to those people. Like, for real, you don't know what happened in there. We don't know what happened in there. It could very well have been a bad director, but the problem with that being is that people are not going to blame the direction for it. They like, wow, this person voice acting is bad. I'm going to bitch at the voice actor and nobody else. It's just like, that's fucked up.
Here's the thing. Let's pretend that we're using somebody who, as you said, there's a difference between on-screen actor and voice actor,
Mhm.
right? Andy Serkis is both. We can agree?
Andy.
You know, the Gollum.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Gollum.
Andy Serkis. Yes, okay, yeah.
Yeah. The guy that
Serkis?
plays Snoke.
Serkis? I don't
He
know.
is literally he is a on-screen actor and a voice actor,
Mhm.
right? If he put in a shit performance and that somehow made it into the final cut of a movie, you would not go into it and be like, oh, Andy Serkis fucking sucks dick. You would be like, hey, wait a minute, the direction of this is a little off.
Yeah.
I think that's also a big part of it with video game voice directors, is they are very anonymous compared to the voice acting talent themselves.
Yeah.
So like, does anybody know off the top of my head the name of the voice director for Resident Evil Remake? Because I certainly
I have
don't.
no idea.
No, but it's
'Cause
probably in the credits.
It should be. But again, just
Hey,
from going...
speaking of video game credits,
yeah,
and since we
but
were
going off-
talking about the Mario movie,
I know, right?
Mm.
But going over what I've seen of Resident, I haven't played the game yet. I've watched the wife play a chunk of the PS4 version. I've also watched Devon play it a bunch of times. There's a lot of very stilted lines, and the whole thing kind of reeks of just bad voice direction overall. And to kind of summarize Devon's point, also, if you're taking any actual legitimate criticism and using it as an excuse to harass somebody, knock it off. And also blaming somebody for giving legitimate criticism for said harassment is also brain dead. Like, they're allowed to criticize. It's what being a critic is. Like, as long as they're not, like, calling for harassment or pounding or death or something like that, I think they're okay. And yes, I'm referring to the people going after Sphere Hunter because she said the Ada voice acting was not great. Because it's not.
Right.
It's
No,
really
it's
not great.
not.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the other angle about this, and since we're on the topic of RE4, RE4 has never really had good voice acting.
It has
It
not,
has
however,
always been B-tier horror schlock, and that's literally all
however
it
they-
wants to be, and it's fine.
they committed to the bit though in the original
That's
version.
true.
Yeah,
Particularly
no,
the Ada
original,
voice
they committed
actress
to it.
full on commits, yeah. In this one, like, Raparia had a quote about the Ada one, and it was pretty funny. She was like, that's a white woman called Becky. That's not Ada Wong.
No, exactly.
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Here's the thing. I feel like the other part about it is, as I said, there is this level of expectation because you're going into it with an Ada Wong sounds like X in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you get to it, and it's not that. And you're like, wait a minute.
Well, particularly Ada Wong in Resident 2 Remake obviously sounded very different than how she did in the original 2 and 4, right?
Right.
Like, she's kind of lost the femme fatale voice. She's a bit more, it's a bit more of a down-to-earth performance. But it works fine because it's got that stern, super serious, super spy thing going on.
Well, and the thing is, I really liked her in Resident Evil 2 Remake. Like, the voice actress in the Resident Evil 2 Remake was great. And I don't want to say, like, oh, Lily Yao was terrible. But, like, I don't know why they replaced her. Like, it's so weird.
Was it a union thing or something?
It could have been. I don't know. I mean, I'm not.
Or they might not have wanted to return, like how the original guy for Leon in RE4 did multiple times.
I mean, yeah, it could have been just the choice.
Unless he was unceremoniously just replaced. I don't know the whole story.
I don't either. I'll be honest. It's a thing though, and that's also very much something we don't have the full story. We don't know.
Yeah.
And I don't think
it'll be fascinating to hear when it does come out, because that bad boy is coming out.
Yeah. I mean, I would like to know, but I just don't think we are going to anytime soon. And that's just kind of how it goes. But back to the whole credits thing, I do want to touch on that before we wrap it up, because we're at like an hour and a half now. If we want to keep going, we can keep going.
No, I'm down to keep going.
So in the credits of the Mario movie, so we'll just say it like this. In the Mario movie, there is a scene with Donkey Kong, and it plays the DK rap by Grant Kirkhope. And everyone, if you haven't heard the DK rap, what the fuck? Are you are a small baby child? Leave me alone. Go listen to the DK rap and come back. Anyway, he is not credited for the DK rap in the movie at the end credits.
No,
at the end credits,
game composer is besides
Koji Kondo.
It basically says credits Koji Kondo, Italia.
Yeah. And then, because on the DK64, when it says Donkey Kong 64 it says DK rap from Donkey Kong 64. That's all it says. Now, weirdly, on the YouTube channel, the Super Mario Brothers YouTube channel, they credited him in the information on that video, but not in the movie. And what the fuck is up with that?
I mean, a lot of this also has to do with how Western perception of Japanese fucking composition is, where it's a matter of let's assume that make believe there's a Final Fantasy movie.
Okay.
One Winged Angel is used.
Yeah. Is
Nobuo Uematsu being credited, or does it say from Final Fantasy VII?
I mean, I feel like it should say Nobuo Uematsu.
Follow-up question: if there's a Dragon Quest movie and the theme song gets used, you better fucking believe that Sugiyama's name is there.
Yeah.
Because he owns that.
Unfortunately.
No. Here's the thing. You could argue that Grant Kirkhope doing work for Rare on Donkey Kong 64 means that he does not own the right to be credited for it. Rare does, because he made it under contract with them. You could I don't know what the stance
but he's still the composer.
Contract.
He composed that song.
I'm aware, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily have to credit him.
That's fucked up.
Well, and also since when Rare was bought by Microsoft, I believe they also forfeited the rights to any property or projects that use Nintendo's licensed properties. So all I got to do is just mention the game by name. I'm going to mention. I appreciate it's fucked up, but welcome to copyright law.
Legally, there is no reason why they would have to credit anyone besides Koji Kondo. But that could have just been how his contract was set up back in the 80s, right? Because it could be, the Mario Brothers theme, copyright to Koji Kondo, who. I don't know. I don't know how this shit works. It's all fucked up.
Yeah. Well, plus the whole thing was a Nintendo joint production with Illumination, so Nintendo had their fingerprints all over it, particularly in the design and music department. So.
But you better believe that Take On Me was properly credited.
Oh yeah, hardcore.
You better believe that it not only said Aha, it also pointed to the guy who sings for Aha, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but it's something. It's what fucking.
And it probably also credited the company that owns that song as well.
Yeah,
I could probably
Universal
said,
Music Group or whatever.
Yeah, probably said, copyright Aha, written by, I don't know, Morton Harkett, whatever his fucking name is, used with permission from Universal Music Group.
That's so weird. It's just I mean, I guess because there's more like legal tape.
Even though I don't think that's right. I think Aha was Warner Records or BMG.
Well, it does. I mean, we're just saying what we normally would say. Universal Music Group,
the point
Warner
here
Records.
is that there's a lot of credits going around, but when you get to the game composition part of the credit, there is no reason for them, no reason legally for them to go, oh, we need to say Grant Kirkhope did this. No. Is it fucked up?
Yeah.
Yes. Speaking of this topic, since we were so actively talking about remakes, let's get back into that. Was any of the original designers and people who worked on the original RE4 part of that credits?
I have no clue. Devon,
was anybody that worked on the original Metroid Prime included in the credits for Metroid Prime Remastered?
I don't know. I think I remember reading. I could have sworn I read something about the original crew from Rare not being. No, they weren't.
Rare,
That's right, they weren't,
right.
because the guy who directed Metroid Prime, the original one, was very upset because he was not mentioned in the credits when he watched his son play through it and beat it.
Yeah, neither was Tommy Tallarico, the first American to work on Sonic. His mother is very proud.
God.
Tommy fucking Tallarico.
Hey, Tommy Tallarico, please make another Earthworm Jim. Holy shit.
He's too busy. He's too busy making.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's too
projects.
busy selling the word in television. That's right.
Jesus Christ. But no, I mean,
it's the Amico. No online. Ha.
I mean, okay, but the difference. Okay. So, the thing with this remake and the remaster of Metroid Prime is that Metroid Prime, that's just one for one a recreation of the first game, right? With just updated graphics, and it just looks better and plays with the current updated controls as opposed to a GameCube controller. Is that correct?
I haven't played it, so honestly don't know, but I believe so. Yes.
Okay. I think in that situation, you absolutely should credit the original team because you didn't make any changes to the game outside of some polish and user interface changes. Everything else is the same.
It's weird they did that because, like, I've played through, like, obviously the Wind Waker HD, and that obviously has the original credit roll in that, and then an additional credit roll afterwards for the people who did the work for the HD version for the Wii U port, you know. And same with other ports that I've played. Like they always do like an after credits thing for specific credits for this HD version. So I don't know what they were doing with that Metroid Prime thing.
Right. Now, as far as crediting goes in the remake, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know if any of the original Resident Evil 4 cast or Resident Evil people who worked in the original Resident Evil 4 were thanked in the credits. I will go ahead and admit to that right now, mainly because I just kind of skip through the end credits and get to my rank because I just want to see if I got the stuff. And that, I'm sorry, but in that situation, I feel like it's kind of more okay to not thank them. Given the fact that this is...
They probably put based on Resident Evil 4 directed by whoever it was who directed it. Was it Mikami?
I don't know if Mikami did 4.
No. I think by that point Mikami had broken off to help Kamiya with fucking Devil May Cry, and then to fucking snort crack and make fucking God Hand.
But if they didn't thank the original people working on Resident Evil 4, I could understand why, because the Resident Evil 4 remake is quite literally a remake. It's not a remaster. Everything. Almost everything is different. Like, even the beginning section of the game is much, much different from the original. Like, it's a lot darker. The tone is much darker. It's a lot more like the layout of the houses, while it's the same, also has like a bunch of fundamental differences. The bell tower gets knocked down. I mean, like, it's very much different from the original.
It actually messes with you as well. Like, again, bring out the donkey video. Donkey was like, it was running gag during the whole thing was GameCube trick, and he went into the house where you fight the El Gigante in the first El Gigante in that little arena. You can hide from here, and he can't get you. This is great and professional. Before he finishes this sentence, what does the Gigante in the remake do? Rips the fucking house out of the ground.
Also, I think he's wrong about that, because I've played the original Resident Evil 4 several times. He can just charge through that house and destroy it.
Yeah, but it feels different.
Yeah, I could have sworn he couldn't. I thought he could charge through it and get you on certain things, but he couldn't like reach in and grab you. Know what I mean? Like he can't.
No, he can't reach in and grab you, but he could blast through the house. He can like run through it and break it, which is what his AI is made to do when you go in the house.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. The game does mess with you. The game restructures a lot of things where you do it backwards. Like the entire section before you go to Mendez's house is you go through that part backwards, and it's really weird, and it will fuck with you, and it fucked with me pretty bad because like, oh wow, this is weird. Oh, I don't know if I like this. Spoiler alert, I did like it. I've played through it several times. But I mean, I could get why they wouldn't credit the original people who worked on it. I mean, it'd be nice if they did. They said, thanks to the original Resident Evil 4 staff or something like that. But like, I get why they wouldn't, because this is a completely different thing. It's, I mean, I'd be, I don't know. I that brings up the question: is it okay not to credit them because they technically didn't do anything on this game?
Well, this and many more ethical quandaries can be pondered in future episodes.
I suppose.
All right, this has been insert title here. Once again, follow the thing, subscribe to the thing, like the thing. I don't fucking know what platforms are on anymore. I don't fucking know. Yeah, that's it. Go home. It's over.
Get out of here. What are you doing here? Episode's over. Go home, or I'm gonna keep talking and it'll be stuck in the edit.
You're still here?
All right, but
go home. It's over.
Go home.
The episode's over. Go on.
Bueller?
Bye.
Bueller.